So this update is the first in several coming to X4, and I think mostly for me what this is telling me is X4 is a long-term thing. I thought that this was going to be slowly pushed aside for a sequel or something soon, but the fact that they are kind of getting back into regular updates, along with Elite Dangerous too, which is really cool to see, this is going to, I think, give people a lot of more options for like casual solo play in space if they might be looking for a break from Star Citizen. This won't be a really long overview. We're just touching on this quite briefly because we've gone over this several times over the last month or two. But as you can see, there is a roadmap here, so we'll be touching on X4 multiple times throughout the year, and I'll probably jump into game at some point soon. Does X4 stand for something? Explore, expose, extort, excite? I don't know. All right. So what's coming up here? Well, first, the flight model update revolutionizes the way you pilot ships in X4, featuring extensive changes to ship handling and balance. Every ship feels smoother, more responsive, and more immersive than ever before. Again, if you are a Star Citizen fan and you want a Star Citizen experience without other players, you won't get it completely in X4, but you'll get quite a bit of it, and this flight model comes straight from there. It's created by John Pritchett, who helped develop the original model for Star Citizen, so I'm sure you'll feel some of the DNA in there. Oh yeah, X4 is literally the X series, you're right. It's just the fourth one. Other things that have changed: the flight model physics jest boost mechanic revamp. Boosting now has its own dedicated energy pool. Enhanced gravidar display. You can't be gravidar. Improved readability and functionality provides better situational awareness for navigation and combat. Velocity indicator. Visual speed display aids with precise navigation and in dogfights. Wide area sensor array module. A new radar station module enhances detection capabilities, expanding your strategic awareness. Graphical enhancements. Major improvements to the engine, including DLSS and FSR3 support, making space more visually stunning. Space. Ship rebalancing. Every ship in the game has been rebalanced with refined engine, thruster, and component interactions. It's nice when you get a ship rebalancing and all the ships are just rebalanced and ready to go. Yeah, this is a fully released game. So you're also getting a wildly different experience than Star Citizen here. You can jump into this and expect everything to work as you want and progress as you want and sink dozens of hours into pursuing goals that you know you can get. That's really important to some people, and I genuinely think a lot of people would do better pursuing something like this over trying to force Star Citizen to work for them in its current state. New sectors, additional connections to Terran and Boron space, opening up fresh trade routes and exploration opportunities, and economy adjustments, improvements to trade dynamics and resource flow, enhancing the in-game economy. The economy is really cool. The best part of this game, in my opinion, is that you can start out as a single ship, little blurp, little and like not know anything. Run a couple box missions, do a couple deliveries, cool, sounds great. 2 weeks later, you could have an empire where you're sending NPCs out to go and run those boxes for you to different star systems, to different space stations, depending on the goods that you've mined and returned to the space station, and then had people ship out somewhere else. Like, you can do all of the things that you imagine being a space, what is the name for business owners? Entrepreneur, and build that up as your empire in a closed environment where you're in complete control, where you're the focus. And I think a lot of people would enjoy that. It's just the graphics and probably just like the first impression that makes people not try this out. But I do think that this would be a cool game for a lot of people to at least try out. They also seem to be giving some more in-depth information. They said, for those who want a deep dive into the numbers, John Pritchett has provided an in-depth breakdown of the mathematical principles and calculations that drive this update. John's document provides information about the model, shows what makes it unique relative to other flight models, and provides examples of how the model is being used in X4. If you want to explore the mathematics behind the new flight model, you can check out his detailed and highly technical document of the subject here. I'm not going to go through this, but This is the kind of stuff that John Pritchett used to do for Star Citizen. You can probably find this document for Star Citizen. Yeah. So this is what John Pritchett released back in Star Citizen 3.2 to describe the flight model. If you want to know what happened or why people are so angry about the flight model, let me just post this. This will give you some idea, because you can start to see how detailed he was, how much he was. I'm going to post a link to this for you guys in chat here. How detailed he was, what he was trying to accomplish, and generally the overall idea behind this. A lot of this still exists. Like people will tell you that all of this has been completely scrapped from the game. A lot of this still exists, but it is working a little bit differently. But you've got all of the curves here, how the feedback works, how the overall thruster system works. It gets a very, very in-depth, and it seems that's exactly what he's done now for X4. So rest assured, if you're jumping into this game, you're going to get a detailed experience in space. I think that's worth it to point out. Now, what is with this update pack? Well, you got a new ship, the Hyperion Expeditionary Ship, a legendary ship reborn in X4. You got a new mission chain, which you can earn the ship through. So they're dropping a ship, they're dropping a content block to join that ship. New game start, jump straight into the action aboard the Hyperion. There's a new way to start the game. A new sector, so a new star system, basically new area, and new music for the soundtrack. This is looking like a pretty solid update. You know, it's a mini DLC, they're calling it, so it's not like a huge, massive update, which seems more like what this diplomacy will be, and maybe even this exploration. I see the flight model is the flight model, the mini DLC is this stuff, but it looks like a pretty solid content drop, and just overall reason to jump back into X4 if it's something that you've played before. What else is going on? With the flight model in X4 now in your hands, it's time to look ahead at what's next for X4. We've looked at the roadmap a little bit. They say they've got the diplomacy update late this year, preparing to engage in the intricate web of interstellar politics with our upcoming diplomacy update. This free base game expansion will introduce, among other things, diplomatic headquarters, which is a new facility where faction representatives convene, and agent missions, deploying agents on independent missions to achieve diplomatic goals in the X universe. So first your business, now you're going to be able to get into politics in space. They've also got the exploration update coming next year, bringing new anomalies, leading to hidden sectors, okay, some new star systems to check out, enhanced scanning mechanics with long-range scanner capabilities for deep space exploration, and diverse missions for new exploration focus, rewarding curiosity and risk-taking. Besides the other space games we've been looking at over the last couple weeks, folks, these games are getting good updates. Elite Dangerous is another one we're looking at, yes. Jump Ship, Spacecraft, Exodus, No Man's Sky, Outer Worlds 2, Falling Frontier. There's a whole bunch of really cool space games starting to become bigger and bigger and get more focus, and it couldn't be better. Couldn't be a better time to be a space gamer right now. Starfield didn't do quite, I think, what it was supposed to, but that's okay, because we're getting round 2. Genuinely, I think Exodus might be able to do what I was hoping Starfield would do, but we'll see.